Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's video I'm going to show you all the makeup products that I absolutely am obsessed with this year. None of them are really new products, but they're just my favorite. Anything that I am showing I would recommend to a personal girlfriend or anybody that I know that personally loves makeup. Now this year I didn't buy a lot of makeup because obviously we were quarantining in our house or in social distancing. We also wear masks, so for a big portion of the year, I didn't buy makeup because I wasn't really wearing much. I always put on like a little mascara, my eyebrows, stuff like that, just to make me personally feel better, but I wasn't wearing as much as I do now or have in the past when I bought much more makeup. But these are products I would recommend anybody that I personally absolutely love and wear daily, probably in a rotation of every other day that I do wear makeup. And I highly recommend everything I am showing you. So if you're interested in seeing all the products that I absolutely love, just keep watching. Now I have everything in category as to where how I put it on my face. I'm a big advocate for drugstore makeup, so this is not all high-end. It's a mix of both. The only thing I don't have a lot of is eyeshadow palettes. I have a ridiculous amount of eyeshadow palettes, so I just picked like my one eyeshadow palette that I go to whenever I am going out and I have to rush or I need to know that my makeup is going to look good. That's what my only thing is, but I could also go through all my eyeshadow palettes and show you all my favorite ones. But let's get started. So first thing I always start out with is a primer. I do have enlarged pores. I noticed when I was much younger, I never really had any. I've never, thank the Lord, really had problematic skin. My daughter does, and my sisters both suffer from severe acne. They have cystic acne, and you know, I've been trying to help clear it up with them. But the two that I recommend is this. You can see it's almost completely gone. It is the Touch in Sol No Pore Blend Primer. This is amazing. I love this very much. I use this when I'm like going out and I really want to look nice and flawless. This is an amazing primer and I highly recommend it. Now this primer that I'm going to show you next is, I'm sure everyone's heard of it. It's the most amazing primer from the drugstore, and it is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I've got this probably 6 months ago and I'm already almost, well, I probably have maybe another 6 months with it. This really doesn't have any scent to it. It is amazing. I just take a little bit and I just press it into those enlarged pores and it literally makes my makeup flawless. I highly recommend this. I love it probably more than the Touch in Sol one. This is my go-to, my everyday. I absolutely highly recommend this. If you happen to be at Walmart or anywhere that sells this and you were like maybe on the fence about it, I would definitely just go ahead and pick it up. I highly recommend it. For foundations, I'm not very picky. I don't mind if it's high-end or drugstore. I think the drugstore offers amazing foundations. My everyday foundation typically is from the drugstore, but I have one from the drugstore and one from Sephora that I love. And my favorite drugstore foundation is the Maybelline 24-hour foundation Superstay. I think this is so great for the price you get. This is full coverage. Sometimes I wear it super full coverage. Sometimes I just put a little bit on to do a little bit of overall coverage that isn't too heavy. I don't have blemishes to cover, but I do have uneven skin and I definitely have a lot of freckles. In the wintertime, I notice my freckles aren't as like deep as they are in the summertime. I know a lot of people love freckles, but unfortunately when you've grown up and we're kind of made fun of it, it's kind of hard to embrace that. So I'm still in that habit of covering my freckles. I'm trying to get better at it, but this foundation is amazing. I wear 118 light beige and then I have a couple darker ones for when I am a little bit tanner in the summer, but this is a great full coverage foundation. I just use a lot of moisturizer underneath and it goes right on. It's absolutely beautiful. Now if you want to go the higher end route, I definitely recommend the Fenty Beauty, and this is the Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation. I wear the shade 190. This is the most beautiful foundation I've ever worn. Now recently I bought the other one, that's the dewy one, and I hate it. I'm not saying it's a bad foundation, it's just not good for my particular skin. I noticed that it breaks up around my nose. It never will stick to my nose, and I've never had any trouble having foundation stick to my nose, but for whatever reason that one does not like to stick to my nose. So I kind of just keep it as a mixing foundation if I'm a little dry that day. But as far as this one, anyone that has tried this foundation, I've never really heard any bad thoughts on it. It's incredible, it's beautiful, it's what I'm wearing today, a little bit of this and the Maybelline, and it just gives you the most beautiful coverage, and I really recommend. Now on to powders and setting powders. I don't use a high-end powder. I've found some from the drugstore that I am obsessed with. Starting with a loose powder, this Maybelline New York is literally, it's the Shine Free Loose Powder. It's like $5 or $6. I use the color Light 01, and it's just the best powder. I know it's like probably not really talked about too much, but it's so good. It never cakes up on me. It never like, it keeps me from creasing. It never leaves me like looking too powdery, and I love this. And for $6, it is definitely a must try, and you're not breaking the bank if you just happen to not like it. I use it usually around like here and right here under my under eyes just a little bit, and it's a great you can't really see it because it's worn. I've used it so much. I'll link it down below. It's just the Maybelline loose powder. It is so great. Maybelline is such a great brand. I actually have all powders from Maybelline, believe it or not. The next one I have is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. I know everybody has seen this. I don't want to talk too much about it because everyone knows how wonderful it is, and I just do mine 10, mine color is 10 Fair. Great powder. Now as far as just like a pressed powder, I use the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I also like the Rimmel one, but this is my favorite. I also have this one in translucent, 100 translucent. It's just a great powder. I use it every day. I love it. It never makes me cakey. Now as far as my bronzer, I never vary with my bronzers. It's very rare that I even like really will try bronzers. I do have one from Physicians Formula that I love, but these are my two everyday. I go to these every single day, and the first one is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette. Yes, it's Park Avenue Princess Chisel palette. I think this, as you can see, it's well loved. This is actually my second one of these palettes, and I have a backup one because I love it that much. I use these every day for my under eye, to set my lids. If I don't want to wear eyeshadow, like I don't want to pull out a whole palette, I'll set my lids with these and just use these in the crease. This is an amazing palette. It smells incredible. It's like a vanilla. I usually use this as my bronzer every single day. This I usually put on my nose because it's a little cooler. These two on the end have a little bit of shimmer, so like I like these more in the summer when I'm a little bit of a when I have a little bit of a tan going, but this is incredible. I just think this is a great palette. If you're trying to invest in just one overall palette for your bronzer, I highly recommend this one. I used to use the Kat Von D her Shade and Light palette, but I prefer this one over that. And then as far as like another bronzer, I only used one side of this, but the other side is absolutely beautiful too. Let me show you. Now, it has two blushes, which I love these cool tone, like bubblegum pink. You get two highlights, which are good highlights, but this bronzer right here, let me see the name of it, is called Backstage. This is the Tarte Pro Glow palette. That one, Backstage, is so good. That's the one I have on today. I've been dabbling in this pretty much every day for the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. It's well loved, as you can see. That one has a little too much shimmer in it, personally for me, but I'm sure it'd be pretty like in the summer with a tan and you just want a little bit of bronze and a little bit of glow, but this is incredible. Highly recommend it. These two blushes are absolutely beautiful, and they're kind of like that bubbly pink, bubblegum pink that everybody really loves right now, and they look really pretty on the skin. So I definitely recommend this for an all over palette. Like if you want to just skip everything else, I would grab this. The Pro Glow, it's great. Tarte has really amazing products, and I just really like their brand. Now on to blushes. For everyday wear, I prefer a more like peachy, corally, nudie, I don't know, blush. I like to wear pink when I'm wearing like a mauve eye, or if I'm wearing a pink eye, but like, or like a pink eyeshadow. If I'm wearing more of like a neutral or nude, I love to wear like this peachy color. So my go-to every day is from the brand Note. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I'm not sure, maybe a year ago. It's called Desert Rose. It is the most gorgeous color. I think it's like a orangey, corally. I don't know how to describe that color, but it is so beautiful. You only need a little bit. It is super pigmented. It's really, really beautiful on the skin. I love this so much, and I highly recommend this. I do believe this is, I don't know if it's high end, but it's definitely not, I don't believe it's drugstore. And this is a beautiful, beautiful color, and I highly recommend it. Like I said, I use that every day, and I've barely put a dent in it. Now for drugstore, Wet n Wild's blushes are incredible. I think they're some of the best blushes on the market for drugstore, other than like Milani, in my opinion. Now this one I have is called Keep It Peachy. Okay, now this is like a true peach. Obviously you can see it's well loved. Again, very pigmented. I think I paid like $3 for this at Walmart. As you can see, it's well loved. Sometimes I like to take this on the apple and then take the other one, the darker one from Note, and kind of pull it towards the back if I'm, depending on how I wear my blush that day. Sometimes I'll wear it like on the apple, and sometimes I like to just pull it up a little more. But this is so beautiful. Again, that is Keep It Peachy. There's also one called Apricot that's really beautiful. I think that's the name. Now, Milani blushes are some of my favorite. Ever since they changed the Luminoso, and I know they changed the color, and no one can tell me any different, that original Luminoso was the most beautiful, hands down, best blush there ever was. I do use the new one, but it's not like the original. Now, when I want a bubblegum pink, blue-based pink, I go for Delicioso Pink. This is the best pink I've ever used. I love it so much. It's like $8 at Walmart. It's one of the greatest pinks. They do amazing blushes. Milani is an amazing brand. I think they're amazing because they cater to all skin tones. I hate when I go in and I see things that aren't catered to darker skinned women, or any, even like even really fair women to the darkest of women. I think it's really unfair when a makeup brand doesn't consider every single skin tone. If I was ever blessed to make a makeup line, I would consult with any skin tone there was, because I would want to make sure no one felt left out. But that's irrelevant. But I think this is beautiful. This would look beautiful on fair skin if you just a little bit, or even a deep skin tone. I just love this bubblegum pink. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about, I only have one highlight. I used to be like really into highlight. I would buy different highlights. I would try a different one each day, until Jaclyn Hill recommended this, and I've never ever, I think I got this last Christmas, and I think that maybe one day I wore a different highlight, and it is the Cookie Highlight from Benefit. As you can see, it has a little teeny tiny dent right in the middle. Oh my God. Literally, it makes me want to just drop on the floor. I don't even know how to talk about it. It's so beautiful. It's the best. I know it's not natural looking. Obviously, it looks like I have highlighter on it, but it just is the most buttery, perfect. I don't even know how to describe it. It's so perfect. Now, they have another one, I think in Tickled, that I would love to try, but this is just the most perfect. You could wear this on bare skin. You could put this on your shoulders. I wore it all summer long on like my collarbone when I would go to the beach. No words could describe how perfect this is. I would literally throw out every high-end, every drugstore highlighter, and I would just use this for the remainder of my life. I hope they never stop making it. I can't highly recommend this anymore. This was the best recommendation from her that I've ever had. And I love it more than anything. I literally get emotional. It's so perfect. It is the best highlighter. I wear it every day. Sometimes I wear it on my eyelids. I put a little bit on my, this is not even like a lot. Like, I just dip my brush in it, knock it off, and it just glides on like perfection. It just is so beautiful. I just highly recommend this, and I couldn't recommend, if anything here I recommend, it's this. I would run out tomorrow or actually go get it right now. It's perfect. Order it right now. Go get it right now. splurge. It's the best splurge I've ever made. It's the best purchase I've made for makeup. If you are looking for a highlighter, do not walk, run. This is the best highlighter. I can't recommend it enough. I have tried so many products for my eyebrows. I've done just powdered eyeshadow. I've tried the pomades from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I've tried pomades from NYX. And the one thing I always go back to, it's from the drugstore. It's like $7 or $8. You can get them on Amazon. It is the L'Oreal Brow Styler Definer in Brunette. It is the best eyeshadow. It is the best brow pencil I've ever used. And like I said, I've tried so many. I've tried the NYX, the Anastasia Beverly Hills ones. I feel like this is the best. I highly recommend it and I love it. Like I said, sometimes I'll fill it in, like I'll just do the outline of my brow and I'll take like a cool tone gray-y brown for my brows. But I always go back to this. I'll line my brows when I'm not wearing makeup with this, just to give me a little definition. I already kind of have fuller brows. I did overpluck in the early 2000s like we all did, but I was kind of blessed that they've grown in pretty well. So I don't have a lot to fill in the front, but yeah, this is just the best eyebrow pencil there is, and I love it and I highly recommend it, especially if you're on a budget. This is the best. Now, this is so worn off, you can't even see what it is. It is the Clear Brow Gel from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's my go-to brow gel. It's my go-to brow gel. I use it on the daily. I love it. Highly recommend it. It's about the size of a mascara wand, but I love it and I highly recommend it. I forgot concealer. Sorry about that. My favorite concealer of all times is another drugstore. It's just a Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. I use the color Light. I think this is great for contouring if you want to do a little deeper. I think that this is great for highlighting if you want to get the pink one. Highly recommend it, and it's like $8 and you can't go wrong with it. Now, as far as mascaras are concerned, I can't, like, these are my favorites in the moment. I usually go for a more of a drugstore mascara. I just think they're sometimes better than high-end mascaras. I've tried the Too Faced Better Than Sex. I've tried the It Cosmetics one, the one in the black tube. I'll have to put it down below, I'm not sure. But these are the best that I'm, as far as right now, that I've used. Now, my go-to that I've gone back to, I've had probably 8 tubes of this, is the Last Sensational Full Fan Effect. I feel like this is one of the best mascaras out there. It's got like a wing. You can kind of just make a wing, like fuller on the outside, I should say. It's a great mascara. It never really makes my eyes burn. I've never had any trouble with it. And then you can go in on the opposite side for a more fuller effect. It lengthens, it volumizes. This is one of the best mascaras I feel like on the market. I never buy waterproof. It's just not my thing. You definitely can if you prefer waterproof, but I feel like this is one of the best mascaras. And at like Walmart, they're typically like $7. I do like high-end mascara, but I definitely gravitate towards drugstore. And like I said, I try so many different mascaras. I have so many like holy grail overall favorites, but like I said, this is what I've been using this particular year. And like I said, this is probably like my 6th or 7th one of these, maybe 8, who knows. Now, I tried the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift, and I really love it. It has a more fuller brush. It's another Maybelline. I'm a big Maybelline and L'Oreal mascara. CoverGirl, I used to love the Clump Crusher, but I definitely know that I can definitely honestly say that I gravitate towards Maybelline and L'Oreal more than anything. And it's got just like that fuller hourglass where it's like kind of divots in the middle. I highly recommend this one. It's an amazing mascara. This is a newer one that I tried this year, and it's the Bambi Eye Mascara. And again, I think it's just black is black. It's a very unique one. It kind of reminds me of the Rocket Mascara, the one in the blue tube. I think it's Maybelline the Rocket. This one is L'Oreal. And like I said, that's all I kind of wear is L'Oreal and Maybelline. This is a great lengthening mascara, and I really, really highly recommend. Now, as far as liquid liner, I love to wear winged liner. I go through phases where I won't wear them for 6 months, and then I only wear them every single day. Sometimes I'll just wear winged liner, mascara, and a little bit of brow, and a little bit of powder. Now, my favorite of all time, which I don't have on me right now, I actually just finished it, is the Hank and Henry Blickety Black or Blackety Black. That's my favorite eyeliner. It lasted me so long. It was so black and matte. But if I had to recommend, first I will recommend my favorite drugstore, and it's the Physicians Formula Ultra Fine Liquid Eyeliner, and this is just in ultra black. It's got that really nice fine tip, and you can get real precise. I have hooded eyes. As you can see, that's how I wear my eyeliner usually. I have hooded eyes, so I typically don't bring it into the inner corner. I just do about halfway, and I usually try, I used to go up, like I would bring my eyeliner up, but I noticed that it didn't look right, so I now go more like this way, horizontal. So I bring it in horizontally, I do the line, and I just drag it over, and I meet to about the, right above my pupil, or right below my, either right to my pupil or right after my pupil. But I highly recommend this. I think it's really good. It never really dries out on me. When I can always do one eye, then I kind of just shake it, put the lid on, give it a little shake, and then go on the next eye, and I'm good to go. As far as high end, I don't prefer the dagger one, the Kat Von D tattooed liner. I do prefer the one that is sort of that shape. But I gave this one a try, the dagger. I don't know if you can see. It's like, it's got like an angle. Sometimes it's hard to do liner with this, but it is so black, it's so rich, so pigmented, and it always looks so good, especially if you're doing like a smoky eye or a dark eye or glitter. This is really good. A lot of lip products, so I'm gonna just do my last big, my last thing, which is my eye palette that I was talking about in the beginning that I use daily, and then I will get onto my lipsticks. We'll just run through the lipsticks really fast. Now, this palette is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. It's filthy. It is one of the best palettes there is. I know everyone has seen it, everyone knows about it. Mine is so well loved. If I know I need to look nice, if I know I need color, or I need just something neutral, if I know I'm going out and I have to have nice makeup and I need my eyeshadow to just get on there quick and be beautiful, this is my go-to. My favorites are this one, this one, this one, this one. Any of these two greens are gorgeous. These, I can't even pick, they're all so perfect. But usually if I'm doing like a natural and I need to just be quick, I'll do these two in the crease all over the lid. Then I'll deepen up the crease with one of these. I love this orangey one. I just think this is one of the best palettes ever made, and the price is amazing. It's like 36 bucks or 40 bucks at Ulta. This is my go-to. I probably use this 2 or 3 times a week, and then I change it up once in a while. But this everyday palette, I highly recommend it. Anyone who asks me, I tell them, if you're starting out, perfect. If you're a makeup artist, perfect. If you are advanced, it's perfect. So highly recommend that palette. I love it. I don't wear lip gloss daily. I actually used to wear it all the time in the early 2000s. That's all I ever wore was clear lip gloss, and then kind of went out of style for a while, and now it's coming back, so I'm really happy and I do love it. But these are my two go-to. This is a lip plumping gloss in Love Struck, and it's the Iconic London. It does have like that beautiful minty, I love that minty taste to it and smell to it, and it's just a beautiful nude. It really doesn't have much color, but it just looks so perfect on the lips. And then today what I'm wearing, and I would love to get more of these, Lifter Gloss with hyaluronic acid from Maybelline in the color Stone is what I'm wearing today over my lipstick. It is the most beautiful. There's a little smell faintly of like Play-Doh and like vanilla, but it doesn't linger. And it's got this big, huge doe foot applicator, and it's just so beautiful. It does give you a little bit of color. It is a little bit deeper. I do want to try the other colors from them. I love the packaging. It looks so high-end, doesn't it? look how beautiful it looks. It's so high-end and so kind of chic looking. You would never know that's drugstore. And I think I paid like 10 bucks for it. I was really excited and it looks beautiful. I bought this one on a whim because the Iconic London's a little more expensive, and these are the only 2 lip glosses I think I have. Yeah, I think I don't have any, which is really strange, but I just fell in love with this. It's like, there's no stickiness. It doesn't give you that disgusting stuff between your lips, and I highly recommend that. I'm gonna kind of fly through these real quick with my lipsticks, and then we will be done. Oh, and lip liners. Oh, Jesus. Let me get rid of these mascaras so I can show you. Okay, I'll just get really quick with my lip liners. These are the only lip liners I use, except one high-end lip liner. I do have a couple MAC lip liners that I just, meh, they're fine. But these are my everyday, and they're the Milani lip liners. I think they're the greatest ones. These are just 3 that I happen to grab. Hold on, I might have one more. Lip liner that I wear every day, including today, is Spice 09 Spice from Milani. Best lip liner ever. Nothing can compare to it. It is amazing. I use this every day. I also have the one in nude. I have so many of these. These are just the 4 I happen to grab. Then they have this beautiful one in fuchsia. And then this is always my go-to. Oh no, this is the hot pink. And then I have a red one that I always use, but I have all the nudes. These are the greatest lip liners. They go on perfect. They're super, super, super pigmented if you wanted to wear them as lipstick under your lipsticks. These are amazing. They stay on. Sometimes my lipstick will be gone, but my lip liner will still be on, and my kids and my sister tell me I look like the drunk aunt who just has the lip liner on. It's just a joke though. They're just being funny. Now I just have a few lipsticks and then we are done. As far as drugstore, these are the new packaging for the Wet n Wild. This one is in Never Nude. I highly recommend them. They're like $3. They stay on all day. Perfect, perfection. Every single color, even the ones that are not matte, are really good. Their packaging is adorable now with the little lip. And like I said, they're like $3. Can't recommend them more. Anastasia Beverly Hills. This one is Pure Hollywood. I have probably 10 or 15 of these. Highly, highly recommend them. It's just a beautiful nude. I really like these for liquid lipsticks. I used to wear the Stila, but now I have transitioned over to these. I don't wear liquid lipstick as often. I prefer bullets right now, but I used to wear these probably daily. If I'm going out to dinner, I put one of these on because I know it's gonna last through the whole dinner. I'm gonna save my favorite lipstick of all time for last. Recently I found Huda Beauty. This is what I'm wearing today. This and one other lipstick. I recently found these. Look at that. It's the most absolutely gorgeous color. It's called Anniversary. I love the packaging. They're a little pricey. I don't really smell anything. They're a little pricey, but I think they're worth it. I have 4 colors. They're magnetic. I love the packaging. I love this color. I think it's perfection. These are what I mix. Like if I have a lipstick that I need to like make a little lighter or a little darker, I have these in a couple colors. This one is in Caro, C-A-I-R-O, and I mixed that with the Anniversary. But like if I'm wearing a darker lipstick, I'll kind of put this on to mix. It's so easy to mix with it. They're the NYX soft matte lip creams. I don't think people talk about these much anymore. They smell nice. They're like a vanilla-y. They're just perfect. These are perfection. I always have one of these on me. I love the one in London and a couple other colors I don't know the name of, but this is my favorite. This is the one I repurchased. This is probably my 3rd or 4th one of these. These are amazing. I highly recommend these. Okay, last but not least, this is literally the last thing I have. It is probably gonna be a long video, but that's okay. I will link everything down below for you guys, but this is the lipstick that I wore on my sister's wedding. This is the lipstick that I would wear if I was being remarried or was renewing my vows. I'll wear this on my daughter's wedding, my sister's wedding. It's the perfect lipstick in the whole world. It's from Gerard Cosmetics, which you really don't hear from that often anymore, and it is the 1995. Now, I bought the original one when it first came out 6 years ago, I think. They did change the color a little bit, but it's still beautiful. It's just a little more, it's got a little more red in it, I think, this time, and a little less brown. I originally bought it because Jaclyn Hill described it as like the perfect dupe for the 90s, and ever since then I've worn it. I've gone through, I think this is my third or fourth tube of it. I will swatch this one just because I love it and I'm, you know, talking about it so much. It is literally the most perfect red brown I've ever worn. Like I said, I wore this on my sister's wedding. She wore it for her wedding. We all wore it on the wedding. I will just continue to wear it. I typically wear this probably 2 or 3 times a week. And what I'll do is, like, if I want to change it up just a little bit, I'll do this with a tiny bit of this on it, and then it kind of changes the color. Here, I'll show you what it would look like. Then it makes it just a little like pinkier, sort of like a nuder, or a little bit nudier. It's just perfection. It's my favorite lipstick and I highly, highly recommend it. I just love it so much. So that is everything. That is everything I'm going to talk about today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I would love to hear what your favorite makeup products of 2020 was. I'm not in any way, shape, or form a professional makeup artist. This is just the things that I personally loved this year. Like I said, I didn't really buy too much new products. A couple things here and there, but it's kind of pointless when you have to wear the mask and when you can't really go out. It's kind of pointless when you're wearing a mask. It covers, you know, most of your lower half. I do try to wear makeup daily just to make myself feel better. I never have worn makeup for anybody else. I have been wearing makeup since my mother was like a hippie, so she kind of never really cared. And I'm not kidding, I was probably wearing makeup at like 6 years old. I remember wearing a red lipstick, people like kind of goofing and laughing at me, but I've loved makeup. But I really, really got into it when I was about 16 years old, and I've just always worn makeup. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave it down below, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.